Ayan, good morning everyone. Hi everyone. Good morning. It's October 20, Sunday. Or Sunday of the month. Okay. Or Sunday of the month. Welcome everyone. Please don't forget to share our today's topic. Hello, precious. Please tag your friend. We have a very interesting topic for today that no one wants to talk about. So please, before we continue and while we're waiting for our good partner call, please share today's live DNP Unlocked, an immigration nursing talk show by yours truly, Anna Cruz, and we have good partners all who will come in a few minutes. And unfortunately, our traveling nurse hacker pay will not be available as usual. She's traveling somewhere else. I think she's on her way to Las Vegas. Anyway, guys, while we're waiting for our co-host, please don't forget to share our live for today. It will be very beneficial, especially those who are coming in, the newly arrived immigrant nurses. And if you're already here in US, it will be very beneficial and helpful for you. This topic is something that we need to talk about, that no one wants to discuss, especially for Filipinos like me. We don't want to be uh, uh think of weak. There's a huge stigma about having mental issues, mental problems. So today is a very timely topic because October is a National Mental Health Month. So don't forget to join and participate. You can always share your personal experiences, your struggles as an immigrant, newly arrived nurse, as a nurse in a new hospital, new environment, and I will just share. I am multitasking. Okay, so hello, precious. Good evening in Philippines. Good morning. Good afternoon, wherever you are, and welcome again. Wow, I'm live. We are on our third week of Sunday. And 2 more months, goodbye 2024. And we are heading to our 2025. And I hope that you will not stop preparing for your American dream. Do not be bothered by retrogression. Continue reviewing, preparing for your NCLEX or IELTS, and always watch our DMP every Sunday. If you miss the show, you can always listen to our podcast. It's available in Spotify and Apple. And tag your friends, sharing. And also, if you're not a member yet of one of the largest Filipino nursing group, please join us in the Aura Filipino Nurses for USA. I've been a member of that group since 2011 or 2009. I can't even remember. Before, we don't have Facebook yet. We have a blog site called Lipora. Now it's available in Facebook. We are empowering and we are advocating for the future immigrant nurses, not just from the Philippines, but from wherever country. I work alongside with Dr. NursePaul and Kay and our other admins like Miss Green and for Marvin, Rainier, Jay. We have so many admins. Some of them may not be proactive in posting or approving your post, but rest assured they are working behind the scene. We do a lot of behind the scenes support and advocacy. So if you're not yet a member, please join us. Okay, so hi Adrian. I can see your clover. Hi Chico, my classmate from Wesleyan. Oh wow, we graduated for almost 2 months. How time flies, right? I'll go through or watching that we're not aware. I graduated my master's last August from Wesleyan University of the Philippines, and it is real. Like wow, I finished the 2 year course full time while being a mom, being a wife, raising a family, advocating. So yes, Adrian, I'm so happy that I always see your clover, your leaf clover from Ireland. I think I have a friend from Ireland too. Okay, so guys, can you tell us where you from? What country or we have one from Ireland or we have one from Philippines or Brazil. Okay. And don't forget, you can type in whatever question you have. We're not here to judge you. We're here to talk about all about mental health, issues. Oh, Goblin. Oh, okay. Okay, so I can see some people here. Okay, I'm gonna read some of your comments. Are you ready for Christmas? Christmas is around the corner, but here in the US, we will celebrate Thanksgiving, Halloween first. Halloween and then Thanksgiving and then Christmas and New Year. Those are the holidays here in the US. Oh, don't worry, one of these upcoming topics we're going to talk about holidays in USA and how we celebrate it as Filipino immigrant here now where we are US citizen and it's gonna be part of your US citizenship. Hello, Miss Ellen. Yes. Oh, so you're a mental health nurse. Yes, you're right. Mental health is nurse as well. I know before we're used to health is wealth. Now we have to include our mental health. Okay? Gone are the days of ignoring how you feel, ignoring what you think, if you're offended or if you feel uncomfortable. We have great topic for today's talk that the foreigners all be the one prepared. And he's coming in a few minutes. We're going to talk about the struggles, what makes you what can we consider as mental stress, what are the number one cause, these topics, and how can we deal with this. I know coming from different country and living and working in a new healthcare system in another continent, it's a whole adjustment, not just physically, because when, like, I'm from New York, I have to adjust myself emotionally, physically with the weather. Because we're used to only sunny days and rainy days. But here in New York, we have 4 seasons. We have summer, spring, winter. And along with that, during winter, most people are sad because of the gloomy weather. And please share what are your coping strategy, how to combat this um mental health issues. Okay, and I
Good
will
morning.
Dr.
Sorry.
NursePaul from Texas. Good morning,
My
Dr.
alarm didn't fire. Good
NursePaul.
morning, good morning. How are you, Anna?
Good morning. It's getting really cold in here. I have
Oh,
to
wow,
wear my
wow.
sweater.
Well, I'm here in Houston, so kind of like 70 degrees. It was cold last week, but not that cold. So pretty good. I
Now
love
it's
it.
30s here.
30 degrees. Oh,
Mm-hmm.
wow. That's too early for me to be in 30 degrees at this time. How is everyone? How are you doing, Anna?
Oh, very well. I'm just a little sad because Kay is not here with us.
Yeah, yeah.
Her input will be her input are very important also when it comes to mental health awareness, provided that actually worked here in US as a traveler for almost 18 years. I mean, so met a lot of people. But other than that, I'm so excited and happy to be here and to discuss all about mental health awareness. For all, I've been a nurse for 20 years and I never really talk about my mental health, especially
Right, right.
when I was in the Philippines. And I'm so happy that right now we are being open about it. And this is something that we have to be really open and be honest, especially when you come from other country. How about you, Dr. Paul? How's everything?
Doing good so far. So I'm excited because I'm starting my new job tomorrow. But I think it's a very timely
Mm,
discussion for us to do this because I think we had a mental health day or something this October. But even
yes.
then, Anna, there are studies that are coming out that
Mm,
mental health issues are more pronounced with healthcare workers now,
true. Mm-hmm.
um, worse after the pandemic, right? So, I mean, we cannot discount the experiences of our healthcare workers because, to be honest, our jobs as nurses, we give so much to our
Mm-hmm.
patients. So it kind of like takes a toll in you as well. So I believe in that. I went through it as well. So I think this conversation is something that we really could talk about, especially for our immigrant community, because
True.
we also battle not only mental health issues but also homesickness, which we talked
Mm.
about last week.
Very timely, right? I mean, all our topics are aligned. Like, we just don't jump to another topic, but they're aligned and they're connected. So, mental health awareness. What comes to your mind, Dr. Nurse, when you hear this word?
Well, I think I think nurses are knowledgeable about mental health because this is something we see with our patients.
Mm-hmm.
But there sometimes we have this thought where it would not affect us, or
Mm-hmm.
it might be too late before we see the signs because we try to be resilient. Some of us have coping strategies, and during
Mm-hmm.
my master's degree about 10 years ago, um, I did a research about coping strategies, right? There are two
Wow.
different coping strategies. There are positive coping strategies that allows you to, mentally be stable and not have these chronic issues like depression and anxiety. But there's also bad coping strategies where it makes your anxiety or depression or even PTSD worse. So not all coping strategies are positive for your mental health, but sometimes as nurses we try to tough it out. We don't want to talk about it because we don't want to be flagged as having mental issues when we're dealing with patients. We try to laugh it out. We try to make it a joke just to be, just to cope from the stress of our jobs. But honestly, we need to be talking about it more because I think a lot of nurses are getting affected with it. And not only that, Anna, um, there's also a social taboo. Every time we talk
Mm-hmm.
about mental health, there's also a social taboo, that that's the component of in nursing, I think, especially in our culture in Filipinos, that if you
Mm-hmm.
talk about mental health, that's being weak or
Yes.
that it doesn't exist. But
They
if you
will
think
make
about
fun
it,
of you.
yeah, yeah, you would hear things where they say, um, it's just an episode. You're just
Mm-hmm.
sad today. Try to do something that will make you happy. Well, that's actually good, but we cannot discount the fact that mental health are anchored with biological, biochemical processes in the body as
Mm-hmm.
well. So at one point, some coping strategies will not work, and you might need to seek medical
Mm-hmm.
treatments or psychological treatments.
For the corners all. And as I mentioned earlier, the Aura, our Facebook group, I received a lot of messages from our group, especially
Mm-hmm.
those who are newly arrived, that would like to go back home. Not just because of being homesick, but they told me, Mama Ana, I cannot sleep anymore. I cannot eat anymore. I always think that something bad will happen to me, especially when I'm working. They're very anxious. They're always They put a lot of negativity and they're not happy. They were like, Mom Anna, I thought this is the American dream that we've been waiting for. Why
Mm-hmm.
do I feel this way? And then, I'm happy that they trust us, that they come to us so we can help them out. And yeah, we DNP a lot was a big help to them because now they're acknowledging themselves that they need help and we provide help. We may not, we don't open a lot, but we know that we do a lot of behind the scene. So
Mm-hmm.
the our nurse all you work as a traveler nurse in the ER. I work in the OR. We have a different battle that we face every time we work.
Right, right, right.
Right? I mean, you have your own war zone, I have my own war zone.
Correct, correct.
So, and we often face intense stress, different level of stress, long hours, and emotional exhaustion. So, why do you think that what are the most common mental health issues that we nurses face that we don't want to talk about it?
Yeah. Okay.
You
I'd
go
like.
first. Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Okay. I'd like to read this article from CDC. That's
Mm-hmm.
what I'm looking at right now. It's titled "Health Worker Mental Health" in CDC.gov. This is published by the National Institute for Occupational Safety and Health, or NIOSH. Right. So it says here, challenging conditions put over 20 million U.S. health worker at risk for mental health issues, but supportive work environments can help protect their well-being. Healthcare workers include everyone working in patient care, such as nurses, physicians, home health aides, and medical assistants. So we're not only talking about nurses here. It also includes many others who serve in critical support roles, as well as public healthcare workers. The challenges they face in the workplace, including long hours, staffing shortages, and exposure to violence and harassment. Mental health concerns among health workers include stress, burnout, depression, anxiety, substance use disorders, Anna, and suicidal behavior. Burnout and poor mental health outcomes are long standing concerns made worse by the unique challenges of the pandemic. A recent CDC Vital Signs compared data in 2018 before the pandemic with data in 2022 after the onset of the pandemic. It found that health workers are facing a mental health crisis. More than double the number of healthcare workers reported harassment at work in 2022 than in 2018. Half of health workers, 46%, reported often feeling burned out in 2022, up from 32% in 2018. And nearly half of health workers, 44%, intended to look for a new job in 2022, up from 33% in 2018. So other research has shown the top reasons for leaving healthcare included insufficient staffing, intensity of workload, and the emotional toll of the job. So we can see a trend, especially made worse by that pandemic. After the pandemic, it's just got
True.
worse. A lot of people want to
Mm-hmm.
leave their jobs. We want to retire early, right? Okay,
Yeah.
retired early from travel nursing, something like that. Something like that. So because of all these things that healthcare workers are experiencing.
And
And also, just a word of caution, Hannah, sorry about this. If you are feeling
mhm.
suicidal, please call 911
Yeah.
or go to your nearest emergency room. This is just a disclaimer, okay?
Yeah. And we just like to remind we are not an expert, we are not a psychiatrist or psychologist or therapist, but we are just like you. We are both working in the healthcare, we are both nurses, and at some point in our life, we experience having mental health issues. So talking about mental health awareness will help us, not just me and all, but also you guys. And please do not be ashamed. If you need help, if you need someone to talk to, call 911, talk to someone, ask for help. Because at the end of the day, your family loves you, your friends love you. You might not know it. You might don't feel that someone love you, but yes, there is someone who love you and care for you. So, I don't know what partner Paul if I should share my life, but I am. You know me, I'm an open book for everyone. I have a brother. He passed away during 2020, I can't even remember, 2004. He committed suicide. I found him. I was able to revive him, but he only lasted for 24 hours. And then looking back, because we are in healthcare, I traced back my family tree. I asked my father, do we have a mental health issue in the family? And then I found out that aside from having a sleep balance, because I am the third generation, we also have a mental health issue. I am not ashamed of it because by knowing that, now I am aware what to look for and how to take care of myself and my daughter. Um, I'm just sad that my brother didn't ask for help or didn't say something. And
Mhm.
also knowing that, hey, I'm a nurse, I should know that the signs and symptoms.
Right,
But like
right.
what you said, we thought nurses we are invincible. We're not gonna be affected by it, and we know that we can prevent it. So please, the first thing to do is to self-awareness. Be very honest with yourself. Do not be ashamed of it. If it's run in your family or you have a history, please have yourself checked. When I went to therapy, of course, when I was in the Philippines, no, because we're not aware of it and it was very expensive. Now that I'm here in US with the help of my husband, we still consult. We ask for therapy, and now I know that I am safe. That I'm not gonna do anything about that because I know that I am aware, and I know that there's a help. And like the partners all according to CDC, stress, long hours of work, burnout. I know we're getting paid per hour bigger than in the Philippines, but hey, you're not in the Philippines anymore. You have your friends, your relatives, your neighbors. So there's a lot of factors that can contribute having a mental issue. So and I'm happy with partners all that I'm able to share this. So please, if you need help, reach out. We're here
Right.
even if you don't know us personally and your secrets are safe with us. We will protect your identity. How about you, good partners, Paul? I know you had some clarity before.
Yes. Thank you for sharing your story, Anna. But see, this is what I'm saying, that the taboo is preventing a lot of people from seeking mental
Mm-hmm.
health. What's this mental health treatments, right? So we know for sure in medicine, in nursing, we study this in school, that mental health is not just a feeling or a
Mm-hmm.
phase or an emotion. You're just sad, you know?
Yeah.
We know that there are biochemical processes that are involved here, neurotransmitters, maybe high or low, depending on your condition. So, which means even if you try to tough it out, if there are biochemical processes that are
Mm-hmm.
not in homeostasis in your brain, then that can be treated with medicine, you know. But a lot of
True.
people don't seek help because of the taboo,
Mm-hmm.
right? Because of
Number one. Yeah.
being scared of getting judged, you know.
Yeah.
I did go through therapy. I was at my lowest point, and I think that was the time that I had really bad depression, back in 2021. All right. This
Mm-hmm.
was also the same time that I was having PTSD that I didn't know that I had before, right? My childhood was rough, so there was a triggering event at that time. And to cut it short, I didn't believe in therapy before. I believed
Mm-hmm.
in toughing it out. You know, I don't want to talk about it because I
Yeah.
was in
It will go
denial.
away.
Yeah, but eventually, you know, I had to talk to a therapist who encouraged me to seek medical treatment as well. And you
Mm-hmm.
see, I've been a nurse for years, right? I was at that time, I was also an NP student. We study these things heavily. We see
Mm-hmm.
these patients in the hospitals. We see these patients in the clinics, right? You give these treatments to these patients, but at that point I was like, I don't think I need help, you know, because if there's a problem I would know myself, but I know there's already a problem. But I was still in denial. But towards the end of it, what I did was seek therapy, and therapy is a professional help. I remember my
Mm-hmm.
therapist saying, you can talk to your friends all day long, but your friends will not provide you professional advice. They will
Mm-hmm.
not provide you um, an environment where they can absorb what you're saying and give you a perspective of a professional. Um, so it's still very important to have therapy, to talk to someone about this who's
Mm-hmm.
professional, who knows what to do about these things. And she was also the one who encouraged me to undergo medical treatment, and that's how I started. And now I'm no longer taking any meds because it was just a phase. Um, but for a bit I was depressed, and it was also like coming into winter season too.
Yes. Mm-hmm.
It might be seasonal affective disorder too, or something like that. But I was not immune to it. That was also the time that was the peak of the COVID, right? So I
Yes.
was doing
Mm-hmm.
COVID crisis, working
And you're
four or
in the
5 days a week.
ER. You've
Yes,
seen all of
ER,
it.
all of them, right at the beginning, towards the end when it got better. Everybody's getting intubated. We're becoming ICU nurses because
Yeah.
ICU would hold these patients for 3 months, 2 months, right? Um, and then there's also this side where people don't believe in it and they blame you for that. So much, right? So that's 4 to 5 days a week, and then I still have NP school and go through clinicals the other 2 days. So there were times where I would only have one day off or no days off at all, right? So,
Mm-hmm.
um, but that's about it. So what I did was seek medical treatment. I was in between contract, and that's how I started everything. I started journaling at that point. The
Mm-hmm.
therapist helped me walk through, like, find the things that used to make me happy, and
Yeah.
then coping strategies in short. So the therapist
Mm-hmm.
helped me um, verbalize the things that I could not verbalize because it was a taboo. So it was really
Mm-hmm.
hard for me to acknowledge these things. And as a nurse, like, I feel like I'm immune to it, like I said. So she helped me.
Radiant.
Yeah, she helped me open up.
Mm-hmm.
Things that I was scared to talk about because I grew up with a rough childhood. So everything was like, um, I built up a wall of, like,
Mm-hmm.
you know what I mean, to prevent me from getting hurt. But eventually, I went to that point where I needed medical treatment. So I'm not ashamed of
Mm-hmm.
that. I keep sharing that. I got interviewed by Sigma. I was part of their
Mm-hmm.
podcast in season 1, episode 4 of a Nurse First podcast by
Yeah,
Sigma.
I heard that, yeah.
Yeah, back in 2022, and I share that I've been very vulnerable in that podcast. You guys can see that in my link.
Mm-hmm.
Um, um, I've also shared this in one of the shows that I did with Pinoy Nurse Portal Nurse Rebecca. But I'm not ashamed to say that because somebody might need to hear it.
Mm-hmm.
Um, and like we said, we're being vulnerable right now, Anna, because we're sharing these life stories of our
Yeah.
firsthand experience with these things. Do not be scared to ask for help. All right.
Yeah.
Mental health is healthcare. So the same way that you treat, and prevent your body from having diseases and medical issues and physiological problems, you also want to take care of your mental health, because at the end of the
Mm-hmm.
day, guys, we're nurses, right? It's so hard to function as a nurse when you're going through something, right? I've seen nurses that went through substance use, right? That's their
Mm-hmm.
coping,
Yeah.
right? And they
Mm-hmm.
get addicted to it, and they lost their jobs
Alcoholic.
because of it.
Yep. Became
Alcoholic,
alcoholic. Yeah.
right? Using illicit drugs, right? So
Mm-hmm.
it it will cause a toll in your body, or you might also start hurting someone if you're working as a nurse and you have these issues, right? So seek medical treatment, seek help from psychotherapists, and try it. Some people think therapy doesn't work, right?
It wore.
At the,
It wore. Actually, help. Yeah.
yeah, at the beginning I thought it was not going to work as well, but it was actually pretty good. I've been in therapy for like 2 years, and now I'm in between therapies, but it's been very helpful, Anna.
For I have the psychotherapy like 2024 or 2021 also,
Hmm.
and I told my story. I found my brother committing the suicide. Then I lost my mom to cancer. And then I lost babies, miscarrying. So those events of your life will really trigger something out of you. We are not superhero. We are not invincible. And remember, you're not in the Philippines. You don't have your core, your neighbors that you used to talk to. You don't have your relatives, your favorite aunt or your uncle. You don't have your best friend with you. So you really have to be aware of yourself when it comes to your mental health. And at the same time, be open about it. And also, look for something that will make you happy, that you can release your emotion. Like Dr. Nurse Paul, he does some journaling. That's why I love planners. My planner slash my journal. And then that's why I also have dogs. I have Pomeranians. And then now I divert myself to comfort. Whatever will make you happy and will release your stress. And I I like those I like what you mentioned about the CDC, the research, the reasons why we have this, because we are healthcare workers, we have license that we protect, and there's so many things that comes to our mind. Am I getting paid enough? Am I sending money enough to my loved ones? Am I doing it right? This is now how I work in the Philippines or in the Middle East. Am I can I communicate well? Those little voices that you hear, when they combine together, they all add up. And later on, you will suffer not just physically and then emotionally. And remember, you come a long way to arrive in USA. You finish, you pass your NCLEX, your IELTS, and now because uh, you're scared to ask help, you're suffering silently. So please don't, because I just want to share this one member that sent me a message. They're not from the Philippines, they're from other country. But the wife sent me a long email, the corner's all about her struggles. She kept denying that she's okay, that I'm gonna be fine, my family needs me. And one day, she broke down and cried at the middle of her work. She worked in a
Mhm.
nursing home. And then she was rushed to a hospital and she was admitted. And then later on, she was like, why am I doing this to myself? I forgot I have a 3-year-old. I forgot I have a family back home who's relying on me. So now she's on therapy. She acknowledged all her trauma, all her PTSD, and she's doing better. And she's not Filipino, the partner's all, but she found out Lipora, and she wanna say thank you for you and for the whole admin of Lipora and okay. So please reach out if you need help and be honest with yourself. When you're not happy anymore, there must be something wrong. And we have insurance here. And remember, in our employment, we have EP, we have health, we have line phone number that we can call.
We have I think majority of the healthcare organizations, if you're working in healthcare organizations, check your benefits from your employer.
HR, yep.
There is an EAP, Employment
Mm-hmm.
Assistance Program, where you can seek free psychotherapy. All right, try
Mm-hmm.
it. It's part of your benefits. You can talk to your psychotherapist. It is confidential, it is private,
Yeah.
it is protected by HIPAA because it's considered a medical visit. And again, we're not medical what's this
Expert.
experts here for
Mm-hmm.
mental health. What we're telling you guys are based on our experience, but there are available treatments. All right.
Mm-hmm.
There are lots of resources from cdc.gov talking about anxiety and depression.
Mm-hmm.
There's lots of resources available online. But of course, look for reputable resources. And there are also lots of treatments. Psychotherapy is one of those, but you can also start on low dose medications like
Mm-hmm.
SSRIs or SNRIs, all right, to stabilize those neurotransmitters and all those biochemical processes that's going on in your brain and your body, all right? But seek professional help and don't be scared to talk about it. With me, I did both psychotherapy and
Mm-hmm.
meds, and it did help me. I do have panic attacks, Anna, and PTSD, so it's not helping. And then usually anxiety and depression are tied together. So
Yes. Mm-hmm.
it really wasn't helping. But at that time, I appreciated, the journey more. All right, that
Mm-hmm.
was also the same time that I was wrapping up my NP. I was going to take my NP boards. I
Mm-hmm.
took my NP boards in the middle of that chaos,
Wow, look at
and
you.
and then and then I had 1 year left for the DNP, which was rough because I was battling. I was still at the height of the thing. In fact, my one of my last semesters in DNP, because I stayed 1 more year to complete
Mm-hmm.
nursing education unit, so I'm qualified to take CNE, or the Certified Nurse Educator exam. Um, what happened was, my scores were not doing okay at one point, so my professor had to talk to me. She's like, uh, "You've never been like this because your scores are
Mm-hmm.
always okay. You're always on time with your assignments and all that." And that was like my fourth year in the doctorate school, because I was
Mm-hmm.
doctorate school for 4 years. And she was alarmed. So I talked to her, said it's going through something, and she was very understanding. But
Mm-hmm.
we're not always strong, all right?
True.
I was lucky because I was in between contract as travel nurses. We have that leisure to where I don't want to work right
Yeah.
now. I'm going through something, right? And by the time I came back to work, I was, more stable. And I'm not
Happier.
going, happier, like able to function. Probably
Mm-hmm.
happier is a subjective function, but able to function. Because sometimes
Mm-hmm.
when you're at the height of it, especially with panic attacks and PTSDs and all that, you your ability to function is impaired, right? So some people are scared to get medical treatments because they don't want to get off work because they probably don't
Yeah.
have savings, or they
Mm-hmm.
have bills to pay and all that. But guys, stress and burnt out, all of these can eventually lead to mental health problems. So make sure that you take um, pauses, take things slowly. Life is not a race,
Yes.
it's not a race, it's a marathon. So take it slowly, take it at your own pacing, seek medical treatments. Don't overwork yourselves. I know
True.
we're, as nurses, especially with the immigrant community, we're glorifying overtime so much,
Yes.
right? Because we all have medical, what's this? I'm sorry, we have financial
Responsibility.
responsibilities and financial goals to get there much
Yeah.
quicker. But at what cost, right? At
Yeah.
what cost? Because you might not even get there you're if the mental health issue is not treated properly,
True.
right? Because with me, I think the main trigger was I was exhausted. I think
Mm-hmm.
I was burnt out, I was exhausted, and all these things suddenly started pouring. When you're exhausted and burnt out, everything gets magnified.
True.
So you're like, oh, I feel overwhelmed. Everything's happening at the same
Mm.
time. But it was actually not happening at the same time. I was building up, but I was denying it. So
Yes.
because I was not focused on it, eventually it got bigger and bigger to where I needed medical and professional help. So take care of your mental health, guys. Mental health is healthcare.
So with me, the partners all since we are kinda, being vulnerable at this point in our age. So with me, my brother committed suicide 2005. So I'm the eldest. I do not mourn because I have to take care of my father who is a stroke patient, and my
Mm-hmm.
mom was an asthmatic diabetic. So I have to take care of everything. And then when I came here in US, my mom also in 2019 of cancer, and we are very very close. We talk a lot, long hours. And then I have miscarriages. So my trigger was when my mom passed away. What happened with me was I was passing out, and then they kind of find a real diagnosis. MRI was okay, CT scan was okay. I've seen 4 neurologists all over New York, and they kind of
Mm-hmm.
really see something wrong with me. And
Right.
finally, they told me you need to see a neuropsychiatrist. And as
Mm-hmm.
you know, guys, my husband is also a nurse. He works in medicine. At first, I don't want to, healthcare workers, we are the worst stubborn Asian. I was like, I'm okay. I can do this. I'm strong. No, I'm resilient. I already passed those examination. Try to be stronger. And then my husband said, let's just try it. try it. And if it's not, then let's look for another option. So this is me being fully honest with you guys. So I've seen a psychotherapist and I told him everything what I've been through. I found my brother hung himself, my mom passed away, I lost this baby. I never really mourned those sad events of my life because for me, I wanna move on easily. I wanna move
Mhm.
on and start another day. It's okay, I'll be okay. Which is wrong. If you're hurt right now, if you're sad right now, because the progression or because you failed, mourn for it, cry for it. You really have to go through the stages of depression, anger, those stages. Do not bypass it. So I spoke to the neuropsychiatrist, psychologists and psychiatrists, they're different. They do not prescribe me any medication but therapy. And then soon, my episode of passing out became lesson and lesson and
Mhm.
lesson, and I was able to come forward.
Mhm.
Like you, Dr. Nursepaul, I was in denial. No, that's not me. I'm okay. I'm totally fine. I'm an immigrant. I'm Filipino. Of course, I'm
Mm.
strong.
Resilient.
You
Yeah.
know, right? And I don't want to talk about it. I'm advocating for nurses, but hey, I forgot to advocate for myself. So this is us being honest with you guys that we are not superhero. I'm not Garna. You're not Captain America, and we're immigrant. We hurdle a lot of struggles, a lot of suffering, a lot of heartbreak before we arrive in US. Please do not ignore what you're feeling and seek help. Talk about it. Look for someone that you can confide and remember, like Dr. Nurse all said, seek a help or a professional because of course they know better. I know you can Google it, you can open your books, you can
Right.
YouTube
Right.
it, but it's a whole new world when it comes to yourself.
Right. True.
So right? The corners all you agree with me. So we are here. We're talking about mental health awareness, and last week we spoke about homesickness. It's connected, guys, especially for those who are singles. Because you have no support. Unlike you when you're married, you have your husband or your wife, and you have your kids that gives you more hope and require you to become stronger because someone is relying on you. And that's from my experience, the corners all. So those are the things that I did.
Yeah.
Wow, this is a nice topic.
You're right, right. How about our viewers? You guys can share your experiences, your coping strategies, or anything. So just put it in the comments. But Anna, what were your coping strategies? What worked for you? What didn't work for you?
So what worked for me was especially when I spoke to the when I had a consultation with a neuro psychiatrist. Just like you, he let me pour out. He let me cry for a whole hour with all of those losses that I experienced. The problem with me, what did not work for me was, I'm strong, it's okay, it will pass. Positive thinking, Anna. Positive. This is wrong, Dr. Nursepaul. It's okay,
Mm-hmm.
makatapos rin yan. It will be over soon. Masyado ko kang minagali. I rush it. And diba in our wound healing, there are stages. With
Mm-hmm.
me, no, walang stages. I just want this to be over with. So that was the wrong type of mechanism, coping mechanism, being too active, being too vibrant and happy. Because I admitted na ini-ignore ko sila. I was ignoring the sad face. And then what helped me when I let myself cry now. When I'm sad, I'm gonna cry. If I see a movie, because we tend to hold back eh. We don't wanna be accused or be seen of weak. Ay, akala ko ba, Leora member, Leora admin, you're supposed to be strong. You have a great story. You're an inspirational or influencer or advocate. And now you're telling me you're weak? So, so, and in my mind, I'm from IELTS and I was able to actually it was IELTS that was my aim before. But after the consultation with the neuropsychiatrist, it opened I get to know myself more. I have to be very honest, be authentic to myself. Like, yes, you're Filipino. Of course, you're strong. Yes, your mom told you I am yan, but you have weaknesses too. If you need to cry, cry. And then aside from journaling, diary, I listen to a lot of podcasts. Aside from our DNP a lot, I listen to inspirational uh, religious talk and how to survive. Those are my coping mechanisms. And like you, we have our babies. They help
Right,
us
right.
too, right? They need us.
Pets. Yep. All right.
How about you? Good trainers all.
Thank you, Anna, for sharing and being vulnerable. With me, a lot of things. But first, guys, I'd like for you. This is what on my first three sessions with therapy, my therapist shared this to me, and this is available in Netflix. Watch Brené Brown, Dr. Brené Brown's A Call to Courage,
Mm,
right? A Call to Courage. It's in Netflix. Just watch it. It's 1 hour. She talks about vulnerability and shame and stuff like that, and its connection to your ability to love. So
mhm,
with me, my main triggering event was a failed relationship, right?
mhm,
And whenever I have a failed relationship in the past, and I'm still not married today, but I do have a loving partner right now. But whenever I have a failed relationship, I blame myself. I get very
mm,
hard with myself because of so many things. There is always a feeling of inadequacy, of
mm,
insecurity, of you're not good enough, or we stuff like that. And then it starts messing up with you because you've also had baggages from the past, right?
mhm.
That I
Always.
thought was already resolved. It's not resolved. I just put it in my, what was that, subconscious, unconscious, like whatever memory, right? I put it off for a long time. Like I'd been, um, we were abused physically by our dad, so it was hard growing up because you can't make mistakes.
Mhm,
If you make minor mistakes, you're gonna get hurt. Like you were trained to um, try to be perfect all the time,
mhm,
because if not, you're gonna get hurt, right? And that means rejection, and that means so
mhm,
many things, shame, and all these things. So you tend to, as I grew up, I tend to not talk about it because that's a shameful part of my past, right?
mhm,
And it did affect a lot of my relationship in the past because of that. Like my definition of how to be loved and accepted got messed up as well, right? Because I'm not able to define love correctly, right? I'm focusing on my experience because it's a maladaptive coping. To cut it short, it was not a good coping strategy. So with the therapy, we were able to pull that all out. We went to
mhm,
kind of like root cause analysis, if that makes sense. Going back to my childhood experiences, we did so many activities. Journaling. My therapist had me write everything that I can remember from per year, right? Just per
mhm,
year. Like if you say I was born 1986, 1987, do you remember anything? 1980, 1993. What's
mhm.
a significant thing that you remember at that age? So until we can find out. And then it stood out that majority of the things I remember are painful things, right?
Hmm.
You know what I mean? So something like that. And then so many different things that I was not able to do by myself. But um, try therapy. That's what I could say, because I didn't know these things. I thought depression is depression, anxiety is anxiety. Okay,
Mhm.
there's medical definition to it. There's medical signs and symptoms, but at the end of the day, right? What are we going to do about it? We still need
Yeah.
to have medical help, professional help. And a lot of nurses, I'm saying this to our colleagues, to our nurses, particularly to our immigrant community, a lot of our nurses are going through this. They just
Yeah.
don't want to talk about it or something like that. But guys, seek professional help. With me, coping strategies, I love to travel. So I travel, whether I have a budget to fly to somewhere. I love Europe. I love big cities. I love history. I love architecture. So I go to places where I learn new stuff about a new place. Or if not, I would drive. I love talking to my friends. If there's one thing that I realized during this episode was that many people, because my lowest point, Anna, I was suicidal, right?
Mm-hmm.
Thankfully, I didn't act on it, uh, but I was at my lowest point. I was suicidal. That's when I know something is wrong,
Mm-hmm.
and I either do something about it now, or nothing's gonna ever happen. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
And I was scared. I was scared of what I could do to myself. I didn't
Correct.
want it, but there's an overpowering emotions like I've
Correct.
never felt before. But it's probably all the
Helpless, right?
hormones. Yeah, you
Mm-hmm.
feel helpless and
Hopeless.
hopeless,
Mm-hmm.
and too much doubt and grief and all these things. So there's no way coming out of that. But therapy help, journaling help, talking to friends. I started
Mm-hmm.
talking to friends
The
more.
reliable one.
Yeah, the reliable ones. Like I'm I was more vulnerable after that. I've learned to communicate more, like
Mm-hmm.
I don't like this because it hurts me, you know what I mean? Because sometimes you just let people um, do that, like do things to you, and you don't tell them that it hurts you or something like that, and it actually hurts you. So my communication got better. I love music, so I
Mm-hmm.
attended lots of concerts as well, and
Your
so many things.
karaoke. Karaoke video. I enjoyed
Right.
that.
I love singing too, even if singing doesn't love me. So, so I have my karaoke machine. I went out to the Philippines to visit family, reconcile with family. Um, and of course our public service to our community.
Yeah.
This is my therapy. If I see at least one person get inspired with my story, if I help
Mm-hmm.
another nurse pass the NCLEX, I feel like that makes me feel good. That makes me feel like I
True.
have a sense of purpose, because at that time I lost my sense of purpose. Like I feel like, what else am I here for? Right? Well,
Mm-hmm.
why am I here? Like, but that's about it. That reminds me of my purpose. That reminds me of using my life story to inspire people like me that there is a way out. Like past traumas are from the past, right?
True.
It makes up who you are today, but it should not stop you from becoming a better version of yourself, or finding your purpose, inspiring others, or, I mean, not better version of yourself, the best version of yourself with
Mm-hmm.
all your potentials, something like that. But lots of coping strategies. But it's
Yeah.
different from people to people. That's why it's
Mm-hmm.
best to get medical help or psychotherapist and medical treatments, because you would also learn what works for you in an individual
Mm-hmm.
manner, right? Because maybe travel is not appropriate for one person because they have families. It's not like they can just leave, right?
Mm-hmm.
And go on a what's this like
Summer
go
getaway. Yeah.
yeah, summer getaway. But I also like this trips where I go by myself to clear my head. I mean, so I can
Mm-hmm.
think better and it's more quiet, because I'm a person who likes fast-paced environment. I feel like I think better that way. But
Mm-hmm.
some of the times you need to calm down, and you need a quiet environment to
Be
be
with
able
your
to
own
think.
self.
So yeah. Yep, yep, yep. So that's
Well,
that's what I do. It's all
well,
about individualizing
yeah.
your treatment, because all of us are different.
True. And like what we always mention, there's no one size fits all. What works for me might not work for you. So like what I said, what happened to my brother, I became aware of myself. So now I know what to look for. I know what to watch out for because I experienced it firsthand with my brother. And then I trace back my family tree that it really runs in the family, and I won't. Uh, I don't want that to happen to me. So now it's part of my annual physical. Not
Right,
just my
right.
cholesterol level, not just my LDL or my sugar level, but also my mental health. And aside from that, I love walks with my dogs, the DrNursePaul, and the
Yeah, right,
music.
right.
it helps me. And even if my husband always comes with my comfort, I go to comfort by myself too. And he just let me, okay, you wanna go get by yourself? I'm okay with that. And I also give space my husband. And it and also he's also an immigrant, right? We're both Filipinos also, so you have to really help one another. So when you have a spouse with you, help one another, support one another, instead of you attacking one another or blaming one another. Because at the end of the day, you have a kids or children that relies on you. And if you're gonna let yourself be beaten up by your mental health issue because you're so proud that you don't want to ask help, your aims will suffer. Remember, you aim for America because of your aims and for your family. So please always ask for help. Do not give up. There's hope. There's help. We have insurance here. You have EAP from your HR department. Reach out for that. For all, I just want to read Adriel Legaspi. His coping strategies are he talks for his family and friends back home every day, and he's very grateful and thankful because he has a very strong support system for both the Irish community and Filipino community as well. Also, talking for your family back in the Philippines every day makes it more bearable on my part to continue on with my life as an immigrant nurse. In addition, having a strong spiritual relationship with him makes it much easier for me as well as my dream, goal, and desires of my heart. Wow, that's a very great coping mechanism. Like what we always say, it's not one size fits all. There's a lot of ingredients, spiritual, emotional, physical, so whatever will work for you, do it. And now that my mom passed away, my father's still alive, but he's not really into Facebook. So it's an old school asshole that I have to really call him. So please try your best to reach out and do not be scared, do not be shy. Um, I received some messages right now that our nurse all they don't wanna make a comment because they don't wanna be exposed. But
Mm,
one of the lady from our state comment that during the first few months of her life as a single immigrant here was hard because
it
she
was.
meets her family, her neighbors, he meets, the old type of Filipino way of living. And then at work, she struggled the most because of the accent of different people and the adjustment, the culture. And she said, I was so depressed, Mama, I almost want to end everything. Thank God I found Glipora and DNP and you help me by your life. So please continue to help others and do not be shy sharing your own personal experience. Thank you, ma'am. Thank you. You're always in our prayers. That's why we're here. That's why we're here, vulnerable, being open. We're just like you, right? The corners all.
Right, right, right. But thank you for sharing your stories, guys. It's really, I appreciate that you guys are sharing these stories. But last words for me, Anna, would be for nurses, stress, burnt out, all these things are perfect ingredients for having anxiety, depression, plus whatever you've went through in the past can also, affect you. But guys, take care of yourselves. That's what I'm
Mm-hmm.
gonna say. Um, like I said, we're not gonna give you medical expert advice, but seek treatments if you
Mm-hmm.
can. Talk to people. If you're feeling suicidal, that's an emergency. Please call crisis hotline. Call 911. All
Mm-hmm.
right. Um, you are not alone in this journey. There are
Mm-hmm.
people who can help. And as nurses, we try to tough it out and be resilient. But guys, we need to take care of ourselves. It will be hard to take care of our patients
Mm-hmm.
if we're not able to take care of ourselves. It will be hard to take care of our families, of our loved ones. I know a lot of us are breadwinners and are
Mm-hmm.
sending money to our families in the Philippines or something like that. But it will be hard to provide for our loved ones, to our families, if we are not well ourselves. All right. Sometimes it is best to step back and look at the whole picture.
Mm-hmm.
All right. And deal with these things firsthand. All right. What I remember my therapist telling me is, there's a bad connotation of like being selfish.
Mm-hmm.
If we're being selfish, that's a bad thing, right? But sometimes you gotta be selfish and focus on yourself first,
Mm-hmm.
because nobody else will take good care of you but yourself. Nobody else know your individual struggle but you. So as much as we want to be there, present for our loved ones, for the people who rely on
Our
us,
lives.
but if we're not well, how can we provide for them? Like, how can we help them? So don't be scared to seek treatments. You don't have to share it to everybody and publicize it,
Mm-hmm.
right? Of course, friends are also good coping strategies. Close friends, choose your friends wisely too, because you don't want it be blasted on TikTok or
Yes.
Instagram that you're going through something. But um, it can stay confidential, but seek treatments. There are
Mm-hmm.
employee benefits that you can use for free. Try it, use those free psychotherapy and see if that's something that works for you. Spirituality is also one of the coping strategies. And that's a good thing. People go back to church or
Mm-hmm.
form their community in the church. That's also good because it's really hard. Our struggles as nurses, plus being an immigrant when you're new here, or you moved into a new city when you don't know
Mm-hmm.
anyone, or you're starting a new job. All of these are like can cause you to have mental health crisis. So guys, don't forget work life balance. Take care of yourselves, all right, mentally, physically, socially, psychosocially. uh but yeah, in order for us to be able to help our patients, our families, our loved ones, we need to focus on ourselves first. Are we well? Are we okay? All
Mm-hmm.
right. There are many resources online that you can check. There is a tool that we use in primary care to screen for depression. And like you said,
Yeah.
um, for your annual visits. We all do
Yes.
this. It's called PHQ-9. All right, it's a tool. It's a questionnaire. Try to answer those questions, and there is a scoring system. Just see, right? Screen yourselves. But like I said, we're all nurses, but seek medical treatment if you want to know more about it. Right? There are medications available, low dose, very safe, very few side effects. All right, that can help you normalize the neurotransmitters and the biochemical modulators
Mm-hmm.
for these psychiatric conditions. So seek help. All right, there are many treatments that are effective, psychotherapy being one of them. And again,
Yes.
psychotherapy is a professional psychotherapy, not talking to your friends. That's
Or
one of the
creating a
coping.
group chat. Group chat.
Yeah, because what I like about psychotherapy is it dissects you
Oh yes.
individually. Because
Mm-hmm.
even if you say two people have depression, I have depression, Anna has depression, it's
Mm-hmm.
our experiences of it,
Different.
manifestations,
Mm-hmm.
triggering events are way different. So that's what
Mm-hmm.
psychotherapy is about. It's an individualized therapy for you to help you. Right. So try it. I
Mm-hmm.
really benefited from that a lot, and I still carry a lot of those learnings from my
For me,
psychotherapy.
I'm sorry to cut you. When I had that session, the corner school, it opened a whole new world. I was like, oh,
Yeah,
so
yeah, yeah.
that's me? So the corner school said a lot of words, pointers. All I'm gonna say is, before you advocate for your patient, please advocate for yourself first. Okay, I know we want to be, oh, you're Pinoy, you're Pinay, we're strong, we're family oriented. But please know, no one is invincible. We're not superheroes. We are just human who want to provide for our family. But at the end of the day, you cannot function well if you are not mentally stable or you're not mentally healthy. So thank you so much, Dr. Nurse Paul. This is a very vulnerable Tati. I was trying hard not to be emotional because I want people to know that this is happening. It's happening
Mhm.
and you cannot run away from it, but there are people and available help. Thank you so much for being with us. And Faye, we miss you.
Miss UK, she's on a
uh,
trip right now.
yes,
Her flight got
again.
moved.
Traveling. So we're gonna hear more about her escapades for the following week. And thank
Yes.
you so much. Have a good Sunday. Be strong for your family. Advocate for yourself first before you advocate for your client. Dr. Nurse Paul, what a beautiful topic. Thank you
Right,
so
right.
much for
And
being open.
Anna, for next week, our episode 50. Wow. Episode 50. Wow, Anna. We
Wow. We
50
have a
episodes so far.
guest.
Yes, we have a guest. We're going to talk about nursing informatics, Anna. This is one of the rising profession career
Yeah.
opportunity for nurses. We're going to invite one of our immigrant colleagues, Dr.
Mm.
Ian Kivrit, who is also a nurse informaticist. He's going to
Wow.
share his experience, career opportunities about nursing
Mm.
informatics. And this is very exciting because with me, to be honest, Anna, I would want to go back to school to do informatics, like,
You're
because
running
there's
away
a
from bedside.
yeah, there's a lot of no, because there's a lot of demands as well, but
Yes,
probably
yes.
running away from bedside. No, but this is a good career opportunity. One of the rising specialty in
Yes.
nursing. So see you guys next week in DNP Unlocked. And that will be 8 a.m. Central Standard Time here live in Facebook, YouTube, and my LinkedIn. See you guys.
And
Oh,
Spotify, don't
hold on.
forget.
I forgot. Yeah, sorry. All right, I just got reminded. I have a live Q&A tonight.
Tonight, I'll join you if I'm available. I'll join you. I'll
Please, are
just
you
pop
not
up.
working today?
I will, but it's only on call. So I might
Okay, all
join
right.
you.
This is 8 p.m. or 9 p.m. to you. If you're not on call,
Yeah.
join me. This will be live stream in my page and in Lefora. So we're also gonna award NCLEX for NCLEX raffle
Yay!
later and tap tap
From
send credits.
Aspire.
So that's 8 p.m. Central Standard Time. That's going to be 9 a.m. in the Philippines. I'll see you guys in my live Q&A. Don't forget to download um, DNP
Tap, tap.
Unlocked, an immigrant nursing podcast in Apple and Spotify. It's
Spotify.
available. All our episodes are there.
Yeah.
And if you are one of the immigrants who are sending money to the Philippines, don't forget to use Tap Tap
Tap,
Send.
tap.
Yeah, and use my code DNP to get $20 bonus when you send money from US, Canada, European
Tap,
Union,
tap.
UK, UAE
Tap,
to the
tap. Network
Philippines.
forever.
$20. $20 bonus on your first transfer. Great exchange rate, zero transfer fees, and very fast remittance. You can now use
Mm.
GCash directly to send to the Philippines. Thank you guys, and we'll see you guys next week. Bye, Anna.
Bye for all. Bye everyone. God bless you. See you.